Section 2, the U.S. legacy of white male violence. I'm not suggesting
It's gonna get bad.
I'm not suggesting we start racially profiling white men.
But can I just name a few? Just a few. Just let me name a few, okay? George Washington, damn racist, shot 1 million black people with his AK-47. Remember when George Washington walked out with an AK-47, that damn white supremacy sign? It's sign. It's plural. You know why? Because there's more of them to come, and they're out for black blood. But black people bleed red, unlike those white slime that just bleed custard and mustard. Ooze. They ooze when they bleed. The damn white supremacy. Eating their coffee and donuts, but it's white coffee. You know why? Because they only drink their own flesh. They suckle on the teat of racism. You know what they get?
What?
Damn white milk.
Well, that's kind of scary.
Well, he wrote it. I mean, I'm sure that's what he meant to write.
He said, the vast majority of white men are no menace to society. Countless white men swallowed tear gas and braved rubber bullets while marching with demonstrators during last year's protests over the murder of George Floyd. So you're only a real white man
if you protest
George Floyd.
Black criminals.
Plenty of white men like James Reeb, a white Unitarian minister, died for black people during the civil rights movement. There's nothing inherently violent about white men or any human being.
Except for white human beings.
But
that contradicts what I just said.
But recent events have convinced me it's time to put another character on trial. A vision of white masculinity that allows some white men to feel as if they can, quote, rule and brutalize without consequence.
What do they mean, quote, rule and brutalize? What is that quote?
I don't know.
Who said that?
It's a link to something.
Wait, I almost want you to press it so I can see who said that.
Okay.
Who's the quote?
I just don't know if this thing will reload the page properly.
Fine.
Let's just finish this section and I'll go back to it.
Fine.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at that quote link because we never went back and checked it in the whole video. I'm sorry, Derek. I know you wanted to see what it was all about.
You betrayed me.
A vision of white masculinity that allows some men to feel as if they, quote, can rule and brutalize without consequence. That quote is a link to an article from The Atlantic.
Oh, The Atlantic. Oh, the
quote is literally just some random writing in the sub-headline, as you can see.
Yeah, it's quoting a person named Ibram X. Kendi. So it's not even like a quote from a white supremacist.
If you go down,
quote from some guy.
This article is pure trash, by the way. It's Islamophobia, resistance, Jim Crow, eugenics, disenfranchisement, Chinese exclusion.
He's not even picking random excerpts, actually. That's just one sentence. It's literally
colonialism, capitalism, the self-defense of slave trading, Indian removal.
Nobody said that.
It's like, my gosh. But yeah, and then he says,
there's no like quotes or anything. It's just somebody's opinion. I love white supremacists because I am one and I love me. Have a good day. Oh my.
Gosh.
Sorry, ladies. I'm single.
This angry white man has been a major character throughout U.S. history. He gave the country slavery, the slaughter of Native Americans, and Jim Crow laws.
Jim Crow laws? Oh my gosh, you mean the ones that don't exist?
And his anger also helped fuel the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol.
Oh, wow. This man, the white spirit, the white specter, if you will. Have you ever seen a white man and thought to yourself, boy, he looks peaceful? No, because they're all full of hatred, sin, and white hatred, right? White rage, that's the term. White, bloody rage. You know what a white man can do when he's mad? He can gum your face off with his toothless stare. Does that make sense?
No.
Listen to me, Caleb. Listen to me good. Them whites, nothing but trouble. Oh. You know what they did? They freed the blacks. Wait. I mean, the black people that they never should have enslaved.
It's this angry white man, not the black or brown man you see approaching on the street at night, who
Can I just clarify right now that black people own slaves as well?
Yeah, that's a good thing to make clear.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if there was like a famous black person who was freed of slavery, got a bunch of slaves, and then decided, you know what, they deserve to be free. Most of them either didn't get slaves and decided they should be free. But the ones that did get, I mean, only a white person can be so stupid as to have a bunch of slaves and then say, you know what, they should be set free. Because think of how much power you control. You just threw it away.
Yeah.
Classic white supremacist. Letting their slaves go.
That's a good point. Not the black or brown man you see approaching on the street at night, who poses the most dangerous threat to democracy in America. That's a sweeping claim. But these trials represent something bigger than questions of individual guilt or innocence. They offer a disturbing vision of the future and a choice about what kind of country we want to live in. The facts of the trials are well known to many Americans. In Wisconsin, a jury found Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty of all charges in the shooting of deaths of 2 men and the wounding of another during a racial protest last year.
There's a good reason why they avoid saying those 2 men's names. Like George Floyd, they really wanted you to know his name, but even that's like on that edge. Where you don't really want people to look up George Floyd. You just want to have a name on it. That's why they keep saying 2 men. They don't want you to look them up.
Rittenhouse, who was 17 at the time, said he was in Kenosha during the protests after the police shooting of Jacob Blake to help protect property. He said he shot the men in self-defense.
The men.
Yeah, they never say their names.
Go on, say their names and tell people to look them up. Look up these honorable heroes that Kyle Rittenhouse, the scumbag, the ones that he shot in cold blood. Those poor boys. The men he shot were saints. I mean, they never did anything wrong.
In Georgia,
if you're sick in the head, you hell-ridden scum slackers. Gosh, CNN. Somebody just throw them in the garbage where they belong.
In Georgia, 3 white men are accused of chasing and killing Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man, last year while he was jogging. The men say they were trying to conduct a lawful citizen's arrest, and the man who shot Arbery said he acted in self-defense. And in Virginia, a civil trial is underway to determine if organizers of the Unite the Right rally intended to incite racial violence. 1 person was killed and dozens injured there after white supremacists clashed with counter-demonstrators.
Is there any proof that any of these people are actually like white supremacies?
There's no links that suggest it, so I would say no.
It's like, they were actually all Klan members and they all wore blackface while pretending to kill each other to like practice. Like, these people were white supremacists for sure. It's like, no. There is like, if he was white, he wouldn't have gotten killed. It's like, what if he was white and got killed? But you never would have heard about it. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't fit the agenda.
The agenda. The agenda neutral. The agenda assignment. Agenda assignments therapy.
Yeah. And according to this
agenda 9-binary.
Yes.
Go lick a cactus, CNN.
Race is an inescapable theme that runs through all the trials.
Boy, I wonder why.
At the center of each are white men who are accused of using unjustified violence, either against an unarmed black man or during racial protests. In Rittenhouse's case, a jury cleared him of criminal wrongdoing.
Yeah.
It's what's happening outside these courtrooms, though, that is most frightening. It suggests these trials are a symptom of a dangerous shift. Wow, that was the end of section 2.
A dangerous shift. They're always like trying to avoid saying like what they're talking about, because as soon as they clarify what it is, it shows just how stupid it is. Mm-hmm. You know what they're doing? They're encouraging people to... Oh gosh, sorry, it's coming up. He's encouraging people by being not guilty. Oh my gosh. He's encouraging people to defend their cities and only use violence in self-defense.
That's pretty much what it is.
Would you rather him shoot before they do anything? Like, what do you want? Well, remember, it would have been nice if he gave that poor black man his gun.
Remember, one of the prosecutors in Rittenhouse's trial said that sometimes you just got to take a beating.
Sometimes you got to take a beating.
Or just
sometimes
kill
you gotta
yourself. Sometimes you just got to...
Sometimes you just got to
do what George Floyd did and sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
Thank you, George Kirby.
Yes. Thank you, George Kirby, for sacrificing your life for us.
Thank you, George Kirby, holy neck symbol.
Yeah, right.